Takeaways: U.S. military enters gray area with expanded role at Mexico-U.S. border. Nogales, Arizona. AP, President Donald Trump has made the military a central part of the effort to stop people from entering the United States illegally at its southern border. The strategy is playing out in Arizona's border community of Nogales, where an Army scout used an optical scope this week to find a man atop the border wall and sounded the alarm. As the man lowered himself toward U.S. soil between coils of concertina wire, shouts rang out and a U.S. Border Patrol SUV sped toward the wall, warning enough to send the man scrambling back over it, disappearing into Mexico. Such sightings of illegal entry are growing rarer and the rate of apprehensions at the border has fallen to a 60-year low. Deterrence is actually boring, 24-year-old Army Sergeant Ana Harker Molina said, voicing the tedium felt by some soldiers over the sporadic sightings during 2 days in which the Associated Press embedded with the military on the border. However, Harker Molina, an immigrant who immigrated to the United States when she was 12 and is now a citizen, asserts that the mere presence of American troops discourages crossings. The military's mission grows. U.S. troop deployments at the border have tripled to 7,600 and include every branch of the military, even as the number of attempted illegal crossings plummets and Trump has authorized funding for an additional 3,000 Border Patrol agents, offering $10,000 signing and retention bonuses. The military's expanded mission is guided from a new command center at a remote Army intelligence training base alongside southern Arizona's Huachuca Mountains. Digital maps have been used to locate military camps and movements along the nearly 2,000-mile border, transforming a community hall into a bustling war room for battalion commanders and staff. Civilian law enforcement had been responsible for border enforcement up until this point, with the military only occasionally intervening. But since April, large swaths of border have been designated militarized zones, empowering U.S. troops to apprehend immigrants and others accused of trespassing on Army, Air Force, or Navy bases, and authorizing additional criminal charges that can mean prison time. The two-star general leading the new mission says troops work closely with U.S. Border Patrol agents in high-traffic areas for illegal crossings, and can deploy rapidly to remote, unguarded terrain. We don't have a labor union, there's no limit on how many hours we can work in a day, how many shifts we can man, said Army Major Gen. Scott Nauman. We can fly people into incredibly remote areas now that we see the cartels shifting course. Putting an end to gotaways at Nogales, Army scouts patrolled the border Tuesday in full battle gear, helmet, M5 service rifle, bullet-resistant vest, with the right to use deadly force if attacked, understanding military rules integrated into the border mission. Underfoot, smugglers for decades routinely attempted to tunnel into stormwater drains to ferry contraband into the U.S. Nauman's command post oversees an armada of 117 armored Stryker vehicles, more than 35 helicopters and a half-dozen long-distance drones that can survey the border day and night with sensors to pinpoint people wandering the desert. Marine Corps engineers are adding concertina wire to slow crossings, as the Trump administration reboots border wall construction. According to Nauman, the focus is on stopping gotaways who evade authorities and then disappear into the United States. This is done in a race against the clock that can last for seconds in urban areas as people disappear into smuggling vehicles or for several days in the dense wetland thickets of the Rio Grande or in the vast desert and mountainous wilderness of Arizona. The rate of apprehensions at the border is slowing down, Nauman acknowledges. But, he says, it would be wrong to let up, that crossings may rebound with the end of scorching summer weather. We're having some successes, we are trending positively, he said of the mission with no fixed end date. Zones militarized are a gray area. The Trump administration is using the military broadly to boost its immigration operations, from guarding federal buildings in Los Angeles against protests over ICE detentions, to assisting immigration and customs enforcement in Florida to plans to hold detained immigrants on military bases. Dan Maurer, a law professor